Hey guys, Kevin from the Cartoon Company. I think I should start a series on 1UZ diagnosis, because I've got yet another car here that doesn't go. Customer not on board it. It's from Auckland, so it's a couple of hours. Came down on a truck yesterday, and as soon as it got here, we did a very quick assessment of it. We cranked it over to see if it would go. So I'll tuck that little piece of footage in if I can find it. There's a puff of smoke. Try it again. Right, okay. And then we've got into the workshop. You want a piece? You want a feature? Come on, you. Sometimes the crew is more enthusiastic than they really need to be. Anyway. So it's a little E36 BMW, two-door, very cool car. I really quite like the shape of these. It's got leather interior. It's in pretty good order. It's got a manual W57, I believe. And under here is a Gen 2 1UZ. There's a few interesting things. Plenum swapped around. The throttle linkages have all been taken off the throttle body, which I'm not a great fan of. The wiring's a bit interesting because that is not standard Lexus wiring. Someone's been through that. So I'm going to investigate what's going on there. It's got standard igniters. It's got the airflow meter still fitted, though the plug's broken. Whole lot of wiring down in this department. I'll just give it another little bit of a crank and we'll show you what it does. Oh, it almost started that time. Starts and stops. And then sometimes it feels like the timing's out. So it's popping back through the intake. It was doing it much worse yesterday. So we're going to have a little bit of a look in that cover and see about the ECU. And we'll look at making this thing run again like it should. Take the fuel. We don't want to lose that. It was taped on. What have we got? We've got lots of wiring taped. Oh, it's all sort of crammed in here. It's got to be like in here. There's got to be a heap of wires all taped up. We'll investigate that further. Okay, so it's a stock ECU. I've still got an auto loom in here. We don't have an automatic transmission, but we've still got all the auto wiring, so none of that's been removed. We've got a big wad of wiring, so these are a couple of relays that go to it. Right, okay. Let's get that cover off. And these two covers. This fitting here is for the idle speed control unit, which is inside the cabin. That's been removed, which I'm not a fan of. Spark plug leads coming up through the front of the cover instead of through the back. Yeah. Betches had a 10 series put a set of leads put on or something. Oh, I don't even know if that'd reach. I wonder what's going on there.
Should we take the cover off and find out?
I do want to take that cover off and find out. It looks quite tight going down the back with all the heater stuff.
Yeah.
There's got to be a transmission loom down there somewhere. It's not very easy to get this cover out because it's got all these water lines and the breather line on this side. Yeah, see, it's got the wrong set of leads on it. That's why it doesn't reach. Oh, and those leads are all falling to pieces. Look at that.
It's different.
It's going weird. Okay, they look like they're way too long. Okay, give it a crank for me. Look. Yep. Look. Should we check the firing order?
If you want to.
We've got spark on both coils, but it's like its timing's wrong. Actually, we might just check that cam timing first, eh?
Was it going when he bought it?
Yes, he drove it from
So it wouldn't.
Wire Rapper.
Fuck around with it. It wouldn't have changed the timing of the work.
Another destroyed rotor. Okay, so here's our mark. I've still got quite a few to go. I've got another 15 degrees.
Where's the mark?
Here.
Yeah, but it's it there, isn't it?
Yep,
It's at it now.
that's it there.
Yep, it's on the mark.
That's on the mark. What's this one? Can we get a light?
We can.
So I've lined it up on TDC down here. So down here. There it is. This side is on the correct place. That one looks like it's correct too.
Yeah.
So it's not cam timing.
That's what I was saying.
That's what you're saying. Okay. Let's I'm going to check the firing order. Just in case. It's kicking like it's a mega squirt. So this side, this is number 1. This is in the circles. So when you look at the leads, the caps,
Yep.
you do the non-circles.
Yep, 5, 3, 8, 2. Yeah, so it's 2 at the front.
Yeah, so this side here, I've got 1, 3, 5, 7, and you've got 2, 4, 6, 8. And 2 of your leads will come to my side, and 2 of the leads from my side go to your side. So my first one's number 1, so it goes, yep, so that one's correct. My next one is 7, it goes to the back. And because these ones aren't numbered, yep. And then I come through 6 on the top here.
I'll check that bottom, the one underneath.
This one?
That should be number 3.
Correct, it is. This is number, this one here, yeah.
Number 6, which is.
No, let's check that again. This one?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
That's number 6? Yep.
And number 4.
Oh, that's header coil. Yep. So I've got number 2.
4 is the bottom one underneath on this other side.
Bottom one underneath. Which has got to be...
Which is this one.
Oh yeah, so that's 4. That's correct.
And top one on this side should be number 5.
Yep, so that has to be there because that's... Okay, so that's correct. That coil's been replaced. That one hasn't.
It can't be cool because you got spark in you.
Yeah, I've got reasonable spark. The way it's kicking. Okay, we'll have a look at that crank sensor, see if that's damaged, and we'll try another ECU. Down in my surf, I've got some of those ECUs. Let's have lunch. We'll come back to that. Looking inside the ECU, that capacitor is not a standard one, so at least that one has been changed. While I'm gone, can you actually mark all the leads so we don't get them wrong, seeing they're all long and ugly? Can you pull all the plugs out, lay them all out so they're in the right order, and compression test it, please. It won't fire because it's got no ECU in it. Compression gauge, run a compression test on it, check that we've actually got a good motor to work with. Okay, cool. See you when I'm back. So compression, 140 to 150, everywhere. And black, shitty plugs. Well, good, it's got compression. Let's bang. Oi. Should we put bang a set of standard plugs in it for the moment? And see if that makes it go.
If you want to.
I think so. And we're going to put that breather back on properly. So we'll put the breather back on.
And that lead number on 4 is really shitty.
Number 4, yeah.
I actually ripped the top off it.
Just fell to bits.
Yeah, well,
I'll go get a new set of leads for it.
it's still together, but yeah.
No, we'll put a new set of leads on it. We'll just put some standards in it.
Those are aftermarket rotors covers too. They look new-ish.
No, I don't. No, that's a Denso. No, those are genuine caps.
They look newish. Don't they?
Yeah, they don't look that old. Okay, if you put that on, I'll get a set of leads and a set of plugs for you. We wiggle this, we get water leak coming out of it. So we'll probably look at taking that off. Standard clip under here. Water. It's broken. Interesting enough, this loom here, which normally has some plugs in it, the plugs are gone. So someone spent some time here. Oh no, they've just fed it through instead of it going through here. The plugs are still there. So there's your plugs, but instead of feeding through here, it now goes up over here and around.
This one here too, they had to put that the leads underneath it.
Okay, so the leads, I wonder.
It's a bit strange.
That's something in the BMW. Heads off for one of the sensors or something in the BMW. Okay. Someone spent a lot of time on this at one point, eh?
That's the BMW diagnostics.
Yeah, it's BMW Diagnostics, yeah.
In case why they've left it there.
Yeah, it's kind of part of the body loom. And there's no diagnostics that I can get into in the Lexus. This has still got all of its extra pins in here, over here, but we're missing W and we're missing TE2. And I don't recall seeing any check light on the dash. So whatever check loads it's got, who knows?
Airbag lights on.
Airbags lights on. Good.
Strangely enough, the one light on the steering wheel. Airbag light. The actual steering wheel. Yeah, so that's how it looks at the bottom there.
Oh yeah. Nice aluminium radiator, nice fan. That looks grouse. I've relocated the ECU so I can work on it.
Right, leads.
Has it got the bits that go along?
Yes.
We need them. They don't come on the new ones, on the sides.
Clip that goes through what cover?
The clip for it goes through the cover that goes, the spark plug cover that goes over the top of everything. There's a little rubber grommet that goes through the side. I'm not sure I've got one. Right, that's ready for bolts.
Just in the corner there.
Thank you. I wasn't really expecting a compression problem, but even though when you cranked it, it felt like it kind of had none, and I think that was just the excessive fuel that was going down there. which was sort of confirmed by those spark plugs, you know. It was like, they're disgusting. Oh,
Do you need to take that off?
it's easier to clip underneath. So, absolutely the easiest way to do this is to whip the coil off. That stud.
That was in there.
Yeah, it's because they normally have the big black cover over them. Yeah. So this is a 20 series, okay, but it's had individual covers put on it.
Yeah.
So the ECU's Gen 2, the wiring's Gen 2, the fuel rails are Gen 2, but it's had Gen 1 cover put on it, possibly because it's had the manifold swapped. So they put early covers on it.
That's what I would have done.
I really like the late model cover, eh?
Yeah.
And I think on this one, the wiring's neat and tidy. I'd probably prefer to run it without covers, but you've got the leads running across the front. Oh, I don't know. And that left-hand coil is pointing forward, so all Gen 2. And it's got the small breather on the throttle body, so Gen 2. Also, it's an interference engine. Oh, yeah. So the Gen 1s, break a cam out, who cares?
Yeah.
Gen 2s, put some new valves in it. So we really don't want to do that.
That yellow one was a Gen 1, wasn't it?
That yellow one was a Gen 1.
So what's the difference there?
They changed the pistons, changed the rods, and changed the compression.
Interference.
Interference means your valves.
They touch the piston if they hit the wrong time.
Yep, if you can, timing's wrong.
Whereas non-interference doesn't matter.
Don't care. I'm going to get the airflow meter because we. They need to see an airflow meter signal. Right. Give it a little crank, eh?
Yep.
No, go. Let's get some more battery voltage in it. It's in the boot. Back the Subaru up, put some jumper leads on it.
Don't put back the surf up with a big battery in it.
Either or's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get some check codes out of it, even though there's no check light. So I'll just find some battery power, and I'll go into W, which is in here. Turn the key on, please.
Just onto ignition.
Just onto ignition. And I'll bridge T and E1 in here with this special diagnostic tool.
Shit, where do you get them?
Mate, they're pretty techo. Special order.
AliExpress.
Don't you AliExpress me. This one's a bit faulty, I'm having trouble with it. It's too techo for me. Is the key on?
Yep.
Don't give me that shit. Key's on? Yep. Okay, so my test light works. Oh look, my test light doesn't work. Key on, test light should be on.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Let's look at that again, eh? Test light works. Okay, where were we at? I just proven that my test light works, right? Test light works. Onto my here. Look at that. No check light. So it looks fine inside that ECU. It's had some capacitors. Bridge T and E1. No check light, man. I need an ECU. I should plug in an ECU. I'll go get one. Even if it's exactly the same numbers. Not that it actually matters, I've got a couple that I could use. Hey, look at that. It's got a check light now. Pretty sure that computer's ghost. It's not got any codes at the moment, probably because it hasn't tried to start up. Oh, listen to that. What a sweetheart. It runs. And we've got a check light now. What? So another one running. You can turn it on.
No, I like hearing it purr.
So another one running. So that one, once we got to the ECU, check it had a check light. It didn't have a check light. The ECU looked fine inside. Someone's been in there before and done some work, but it was stuffed. So another second-hand ECU for today, and the engine starts and runs. So that's a good step forward. I'm going to ring the customer, have a bit of a chat, give them an update, and work out where we go from here. There's a tiny glow from that check light, even when the key's off. So it's got a backfeed somewhere in that wiring. So at least it runs. For some reason, we've got a current draw or something's not right in that ECU wiring. I've had a check to the customer, and with the ECU in correctly, we do get a check light, and it has got codes. So we've run it for about 40 seconds. We've counted those codes, and we've got 21, which is an oxygen sensor, main oxygen sensor, 24, which is the intake air temp sensor, 27, which is a sub-oxygen sensor, 28, which is another main oxygen sensor, 29, oh no, you didn't have 28, you had 29A. Okay, so the main oxygen sensor on the right bank is not faulting at the moment, but 29 is the sub-oxygen sensor. So 29 sub-oxygen sensors are fine. Air temp's a problem, that's in the airflow meter. And we had 47 sub-oxygen sensor, a sub-throttle position sensor, so that isn't wired correctly. And 78 is fuel pump. Fuel pump circuit's not wired correctly. The check light was intermittent on the other ECU is the problem. So he's checked it, but he said they were intermittent. So with this ECU in, we need to do some wiring to sort all those issues out. So that's good. At least we've diagnosed that that's an issue. Back in, I'm going to pull these pins out. I just can't handle it.
Much tidy. Do you want to bother putting covers back on?
Oh, that makes me feel better. 22 wires removed. 6 wires left. Oh, might be 7 wires. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wires. 21 removed. And we just remove those relays, and this sort of just pops back in there. How's that? And then this sort of all tucks back in here somehow. Easy. So somewhere in here, there's all those factory plugs that used to be in here. They've taped in, or these wires cut, or they're hanging out in there somewhere. Because there's that big wad of extra wires, and they've got to be in there somewhere, all taped up. It runs for today, or another day. Had a discussion with the customer, and funds are a little bit limited right at the moment, so we're going to just tidy up a few really obvious things. The stepper was removed. It had some silicone and stuff in it. That was done by the customer as he was trying to diagnose what's going on with it. It's resulted in now we've got quite a high idle. To ensure that the idling circuit is testing correctly, I've done the check for the biggest wiring mistake that I see. So just into the diagnostic port. You'll see the light comes on. The light's on, start it. Turn the key off and it stays on for a few seconds. That's lovely. And we'll repeat this test at the idle speed control plug, which is at the back here. Once we confirm that bit's right, we'll just pop the stepper apart, clean all the old silicone out of it, check that's all good, probably put some new bearings in it. We'll do that really quickly. We'll cut the water hose off the bottom, and I'm concerned about this hose here. The man's driving home. That's likely to pop off, and I'd hate to cook an engine for the sake of a hose. We're going to sort that little problem out, and then we're going to reset the idles properly. All the main linkages have been removed off this throttle body. It's just running this lever system, so it's okay. It's not quite as smooth, progressive as the standard one, but that's going to work okay. So we're going to adjust the throttle stop back, reset that TPS correctly, as I've shown in other videos. And then it's going to go home. Now the customer's aware of the fault codes, and it'll never run properly until those items are resolved. The oxygen sensor codes, the main oxygen sensor codes, are likely to be one of the sensors are stuffed, would be my guess there. But I'd need to test that. I've seen a few broken wires as well. The sub TPS is just wiring, that's pretty straightforward. And the fuel pump is a wiring issue. I've seen that heaps, and sometimes it causes them to lose power after about 10-15 minutes of driving. The vehicle just feels like someone's put the handbrake on. And hopefully in time we'll see this car back and we'll sort those bits and pieces. But for now we'll just do those couple of repairs. We'll show you how we get on once it's up and those bits are done. So we're in the idle speed control wiring here. Engine has to run and turned off. Yeah, that's good. Perfect. Alright, you're into it. This morning we've refitted the idle stepper. After checking the wiring, sit on the back of the engine. We've got rid of the water hose that was running through there because I was worried about it leaking. I'd hate for it to be driving back to Auckland and have it leak. Here's the two bearings out of the stepper. That one has these sections where it just locks up solid and won't turn right there. It's got this really notchy bit, so that was always going to be a problem. And as we go, we want to reset the throttle stop, which should have never been adjusted. but it has actually got, it's like it's been broken off. It has. So there's no Allen key head in it. It's been wound up so far. So we're going to wind that back and hopefully set it approximately like a factory one. Of course, it does have the different wheel on it, so a little bit of adjustment to get it just right. So that's what we're going to attempt to do today. So this is a stock standard throttle body. And instead of going with the standard stop that's got an Allen key head in it, we found one with a bolt in it. And put a lock nut on it. So I've brought it up so it just touches. And give it just hands cock more. Right. Pop that back on and we'll see how we go. Oh, we'll do better do the, just double check the wiring on the TPS, eh?
Okay.
So I'm popping a 10 thou 0.25mm feeler gauge under the throttle stop. Undoing the TPS screws here, and we're going to give this TPS an adjustment. I checked it a moment ago and it wasn't right. So my test light's going to a 12 volt source. Can you open that throttle for me, Mike? So that's idle switch on, put it back on there,
You know?
off, and wait, on, and open, get onto this, get onto the stop. So on the stop, it's off, so that's 10 thou, and it's on at idle. Perfect. So we now have an engine check light, which is really good. This is its first start for the day. We've got a bit of an idle up, so I'm happy about that. That's quite nice. This is such a lovely little car. I do like leather. We've refitted the idle stepper, so there's the plate that was on it. They made a really nice plate. And the old ECU, it actually looked okay inside, but that was stuffed. Let's go for a test drive. I'm out giving the BMW a bit of a test drive, and it's quite lovely to drive. I'm not normally a fan of the short shift kits. I've driven some really horrible short shift kits, but this one's really nice. Changes gear nice. A little bit of a shimmer in the front brakes, which the owner will need to attend to. I can feel it is a little bit flatter than it should be. I know that the mixtures aren't going to be right with the oxygen sensor faults. But all in all, it's a really nice car. When the owner gets a chance, he'll give it a bit of a tidy up, sort those last few things out. And this is going to be a really, really nice car to drive. I like the little coupe. It's a nice looking car. And it sounds, they got the exhaust really, really nice. It's a bit blowy. There's an air leak from into the cabin over the other side, on the left hand side, which is a little annoying. And the indicators are on the wrong side. I drive so many Japanese cars where the indicators, of course, are on the right hand side and this one being on the left, but I do get used to it, so I'm really happy. And the customer's picking up tomorrow and it's going back to Auckland. After a test drive in the BMW, I'm pretty happy with where we've got to with the budget we've been allowed. I understand that we can't just all have endless money, so we do have to work to budgets. Don't see the next few things as a criticism of the car as much as a to-do list for the owner. And I'm sure he'll be watching this when I get to it. A few really good things about the car, like it handles really, really nice. It's a nice handling car, and BMWs generally do handle well if they've been looked after. Inside, like, it's not shaky and squeaky, so that's really, really nice. There's a little bit of an air leak from the left hand side when you have all the windows up. There's something a bit funny there. Short shifter kit is lovely, and I'm not a fan of short shifter kits, but they do. This one works really, really well. Performance wise, it goes okay. I know there's a problem with the oxygen sensors, and that'll be killing some top end power. These engines are mapped quite rich at the top end anyway, and with an oxygen sensor fault, they richen up the bottom end, the mid-range and the top. And especially on these 20 series, oxygen sensors are critical on them, and the correct ones, I see a lot that have the wrong ones fitted. So that's killed performance a little bit. The throttle's a bit sharp with the linkage setup that's on it, and there's absolutely no free play. And I can't give it any more free play at this stage without modifications. And I would like to see a bit more free play in there. And possibly a standard throttle body actually would do the trick and put the lever system back on it. When you drive with one of those, they're really, really nice, and you get used to them, and they're still very, very, very positive in the throttle, yet progressive and nice. I also know that with the code 78 for the fuel pump, that kills back power on these as well. A lot of people don't realise what these engines can go like. So they get in it, if you've dropped out of your Toyota Corolla and you jump into this, it goes bloody well. But if you've dropped out of one of these that goes properly and you jump into one that's not going properly, then you'd realise that which ones do and don't go as well as they should. But that'll all happen in time. The owner will be happy that it's starting and running. He's aware of the faults. Throttle position sensor code, the sub TPS, that's easy enough to sort as well. That's just a wiring sort of. So if I had this car, I'd like to see that side of things tidied up properly. I'd like to see the proper platinum plugs in it. That's just because I'm pedantic and I know that they do go better with them. Well, they seem to respond better with the proper gear in them. Probably some injector seals, because these are generally getting pretty hard, and just a general sort out. And this is going to would be an absolutely lovely car. It is a really, really nice car to drive. It sounds fantastic out the back. They got the exhaust note right. It handles well. It's not so low that it scrapes on everything, but it still looks low. And they're a neat looking car. So hopefully at some point we'll see it back. Or the customer may actually fix a lot of these things himself, which would be great to see as well. And I assist my customers who've come to see me with the repairs on their own cars, because I can't fix them all. So I hope that's been helpful, and we'll talk to you again. Catch you later.